Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Dyandra Malika Putri, and I am an undergraduate oceanography student from Diponegoro University. I am in Class C, and this video is to fulfill my English midterm exam requirement from Mr. MJ. One of the most challenging parts of learning English for me is grammar and constructing sentences with the correct structure. Compared to Bahasa Indonesia, which has more flexible sentence structure, English has stricter rules. If the structure is incorrect, the sentence may not be understood. I sometimes find it hard to form sentences and communicate directly with someone that I can understand what they are saying. Similarly, when I read books or watch movies in English, I understand the meaning of the sentences, but I struggle to explain them. Next, one of the difficult aspects for me when learning English is communicating, especially with someone who is more fluent in English or a native speaker. Mostly in Indonesia, we are only taught English with an American accent, so when I try to communicate directly with English speakers who have different accent, like British or Australian, I find it challenging to understand what they say. I believe that someone's accent can also affect how I understand their English. And lastly, there are words in English that, despite having the same spelling, can have very different meanings. Therefore, if we mispronounce them, the meaning can change. Also, there are several words that I find difficult to pronounce correctly. Mispronouncing these words can lead to misunderstandings, so I try to practice them regularly. To improve my English, I focus on various aspects, including vocabulary, grammar, and my listening and speaking skills. I learn English not only from the materials provided by my teachers, but I also expand my knowledge and improve it by practicing conversations with native speakers, watching English movies and shows, and reading books in English. When I was a child, I first started learning English in elementary school. However, my parents had already introduced me to basic English from a young age. They provided me with English language films to help me get used to hearing the language. In elementary school, I learned English not only at school, but also through additional English courses that my parents enrolled me in, allowing me to further improve my English skills. Before I joined the English program in the UK, I felt very nervous about speaking English. I believe my communication skills were still limited. I struggled to form sentences correctly, and I was afraid that what I said would be wrong and not understood by others. After I participated in the English program, I began to feel more confident in my speaking abilities. My principle is, it's okay if your grammar is still incorrect. What matters is that you are brave enough to speak and that others can understand you. Through the program, in addition to learning in class, I also had the opportunity to communicate directly with native speakers. This experience was a valuable lesson for me to continue learning English.